going to be making a bag out of hemp fabric. Now, hemp fabric is one of the strongest, most eco-friendly fabrics in the world. It's a fast-growing crop that actually enriches the soil it's grown in rather than depleting it, and it doesn't require the pesticides that fabrics such as cotton do. In addition, the long roots on hemp help prevent soil erosion, so this is a very good eco-friendly material to be making a green shopping bag out of. So the supplies for this project, you'll be needing a rotary cutter and a cutting mat. You'll need a straight edge, some very heavy-duty thread, and then of course you'll need a yard of hemp fabric. Now, all the hemp fabric that I used in this project I got from hemptraders.com, and you're going to want to use either the 16 or the 18-ounce weight, because those are going to give you the nice thick hemp to make a very strong bag. You'll also be needing a sewing machine and of course some pins for pinning the fabric together. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut a piece of hemp that is 20 inches wide and 21 inches high. And now this is the 18 weight, so even with a rotary cutter, it's going to take a few slices back and forth to cut through it, because this is very strong material, but since we're making a bag, heavy duty is what we're looking for. So then you're going to cut a second piece of the same width and height so that you end up with two identical pieces. So next you're just going to take and pin those pieces together. Because this is a canvas weave, it does have a tendency to fray very easily, so what we're going to do is we're going to double lock in the fraying edge so that it won't be able to fray at all. So you'll just pin everything together, and then we'll move on to the sewing machine. So you'll end up with three sides pinned, two of the long side, and one of the short side, which will become the bottom of the bag. So what you're going to want to do is thread your machine with some heavy-duty thread, and you're going to want to use a heavy denim needle, because when you're sewing with hemp, everything has to be heavy-duty. And then you're just going to sew using a standard 1/8-inch long straight stitch, and you're going to sew it about 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric. And then you'll just go along sewing all three sides that were pinned. So once you have all three sides sewn and the ends of the thread tied off, you're going to turn the bag inside out. And you're just going to pin it right along the seam that you sewed. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to sew along the same three seam lines that you did before, the same three sides, about 1/2 inch from the edge this time. And what that will do is that will lock in the previous seam. It'll lock it right inside its own little pocket so that you don't have to worry about it fraying. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the same 1/8-inch long stitch that you used before, except this time you're going to set your machine to a triple stitch so that the machine will sew 3 stitches right next to each other, which will give us a nice strong seam line to help the bag take any wear and tear. Every machine is a little different, but basically you're looking for the straight triple stitch, and every machine has at least one of these. And then you're just going to go ahead and stitch that triple stitch to give it a nice strong seam line. And so what you'll end up with is a very sturdy triple layered stitch that's going to give it some nice strong seams so it'll hold pretty much anything you put in the bag. So now that we have our bag sewn, it's time to work on the corners. Now this is the bottom part of the bag right here, and what we want to do is take this corner, just stand the bag on end, this is the bottom. What you want to do is just open out the corner, just like that, so that the bottom is flat on the table, just like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick which way the seam wants to fall, and you're going to bend it so that the corner folds like this. And then you're going to go in about 4 or 5 inches and stick yourself a pin there so you'll know where that is. And what you will do is you'll just sew a straight line all the way across here, and then you'll do the same thing with the opposite corner, which will give it the bag shape.